Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series with me, your host, Gyle. Got a ladder match for you today, but before we get involved with that, just like to mention a little bit about the update news for Galactic War. Zep has put a little bit of a program up on the forums about the development, or the stages of development, in which he's going to call it the roadmap of development. And that illustrates nicely what he plans to do and when, with building up to the eventual release in, I think it's June or July time. So yeah, go over there, check that out if you're interested. But on to today's match. This is going to be one I pulled off the forums. Bit of a dry spell today, actually, guys. I'm looking for more replays, as always, so keep them coming in. This is going to be between PsychOwnage and Silver Eye. So let's head on over to Desert Joust and see how these chaps are going to get on. So, Desert Joust, once again, we had an average Joe's on here the other day, so I thought we'd better see how a couple of more proficient guys were going to handle it. Up here at the top left, we've got PsychOwnage. He's in the red corner, and he's going Fim. Opening single land, no PGens as yet queued up, but I'm sure they'll be on their way. Down here in the blue corner, we've got Silver Eye. He's going UEF, and he's opening land, 2 PGens, all very standard. So, incidentally, guys, mention once again, as I do very often, if you haven't joined Facebook, the Forged Alliance page on Facebook, please go and do that. The link is below in the description to this video, and I've also got my own page now as well. There's going to be some other content coming soon. I may even get a DayZ video up and uploaded to that channel, so you guys can have a look if you're interested. So, out for PsychOwnage, we've got, straight off the build order, is a couple of engineers going straight for that hydrocarbon. Very differently, Silver Eye has gone with the double lab opening. Take a look at where the move commands are set. One is going to go over here. It's quite a common play, actually, on this map, and this one's actually set to go up here, but I'm going to put my money on the fact that he actually scales this cliff. If you guys didn't already know, these cliffs are scalable, and the Mech Marine can just run up here, and very often they try to nestle in the back and pick up an engineer kill, which is going for this mass point. More often than not, they manage to do that. Question is, whether will that get there before the mass point gets online, because that is obviously the main purpose. Helps slow things up. That Mech Marine's going to run head first into PsychOwnage's ACU, so not ideal. PsychOwnage not going to build a mass point in there. Looks like he's heading straight for the middle. Haven't got any motion from Silver Eye's ACU, which could be a problem, because it looks like PsychOwnage is probably going to be going for the middle. He's obviously has a lot of mass in the form of the Salem Rex and a couple of other tank Rex in the middle, which is worth getting. He's actually changed his mind. He is going to turn around and pick up that mass point. That Mech Marine is going to run into that engineer. Unfortunately for him, that engineer has already grabbed that mass point. We've got a couple of labs, and a lab and a Selen. The Combat Scout and a FAM, which are going to run down that Mech Marine and finally kill it. But so one engineer down, one engineer for a Mech Marine is more than an even trade. You are up on a deal if you manage to kill one engineer, so that's why more often than not you see Mech Marines come out in the early game. It's always worth it. We've got a bomber out for PsychOwnage. Let's take a look at the move command. It's kind of hard to see what he's going for. He bombs away, however, he's going to pick up this engineer, it looks like, right by the hydrocarbon, which he does. And he's also got a defending interceptor as well, so it looks like we're going to have some mobile anti-air coming off the field in the form of archers. He hasn't done it yet. He's not too concerned. That bomber does pick up another engineer kill on the ridge. He has got an interceptor out, manages to get the better of that defending interceptor, and so this bomber probably isn't long for the world. Indeed, that will be its final pass as it gets shot down. Starting to see a stream of units, though, in production for PsychOwnage, and a huge quantity of land factories just spewing out the bottom entrance of his base. He's queued up a lot more than Silver Eye, and I wonder if that's going to be telling in the game. It's all going to come down to economy. However, if we take a look at PsychOwnage, you can see he picked up that wreck, and that's almost completely filled his mass bar, or at least it probably would have done. Up to 2,276 reclaim next to Silver Eye's 245. It looks quite woeful by comparison. However, Silver Eye has got his ACU to the middle and is probably going to get what mass he can. PsychOwnage will probably pick up mass at the same time. You do always get this kind of strange, well, we'll have a fight, but we both need this mass, so we'll just stop and reclaim this, and then we'll start shooting each other again. There we go. So Always thought that was one of the strange things about Subcon, but it makes perfect sense. You want to deny your opponent the opportunity to get that mass. Even if you've got a full bar and you're wasting it, it makes sense to deprive your opponent of the opportunity to get it. But Silver Eye did grab some. He's on 1400, and that will help him get a little bit back into the replay. Oh, sorry, back into the game, excuse me. But look at the 3,500 essentially that PsychOwnage just managed to grab, so a massive advantage there. You can hear a lot of fire going off, and that's up here. And that's I can assume there was probably a few strikers in there that went down. A couple of wrecks you can see, so there's been a little bit of a fracas at the back of PsychOwnage's base, and somehow this one's managed to get away, and he's just going to chill there for the moment. A little bit of action down here, a couple of THAMs running into some strikers. Nothing of great importance, and no major ground changing hands. Silver Eye has his commander just to the southwest of that central point. Going to pick up a couple of these THAMs, but still neither side or neither of these guys managing to grab the corners wholly. The advantage looks to be slightly in PsychOwnage's favor, certainly the top right. He's got no reinforcing engineers at the moment. Well, there's one coming here, and that will be presumably about to build some mass points. He's going to take that first, and then if he can hold on to it, I guess he'll grab the 4. He has got 1 or 2 in the middle. He's missed this one and this one. Oh, and that one. So certainly there's more he could get, but obviously Silver Eye's ACU has been loitering around the middle, so no surprises there that he hasn't managed to grab all those. Those THAMs will be shooed off, so once again the bottom left kind of changing hands, and it looks like for the immediate future that's going to keep happening. You see a large group of units of THAMs massing for PsychOwnage, but over here on the right we've got a little bit of an incursion, and that engineer is going to go down before finishing that PD, but the ACU for Silver Eye is going to come in and finish that off, which is going to help him defend, and those THAMs promptly hightail it out of there, which is the right decision, and that PD getting promptly thwarted by the shape of the map, which is always nice. And over here we've got a couple, or a a striker and the Snoop, the combat scout, and they're going to wail away on that mass point. They might not pick it up. There's a THAM coming in, however that THAM was on absolutely nothing. Oh, I really hope they stay around to finish off that mass point, which they do. Right decision. There's nothing more frustrating when you watch these replays and someone's running out the way of something, and they leave a structure or something that's relatively key on about 5 hit points. And you just think, one more shell would have done that. But what presence Silver Eye did have in the middle has now gone. That looks firmly in control of PsychOwnage. She also has the top right, but has decided to go for a hydrocarbon before the mass. We'll take a look. He has got power issues indeed, so he obviously wants to get that sorted ASAP, and then he's going to worry about the mass. Quite a lot of troops bearing down on Silver Eyes, but he's got almost a full bar of hit points. He's on 9,000 HP, and he's got some strikers as well, so there's nothing to be too concerned about at the moment. Over here at the bottom left, though, it looks like PsychOwnage is making a drive to try and take it back. Relatively even numbers, but I think the concentration is a little bit heavier for PsychOwnage, and that's going to give him an advantage. You've got this single file kind of stream coming in for Silver Eye. It's going to act very much in the same way as a concave. They're just going to get popped from all directions, and I think Silver Eye's going to have to yield that. Indeed he does. He withdraws. But over here on the right we've got PsychOwnage. He's getting an upgrade on. It looks like the gun upgrade. Indeed it is. Take a quick look just to make sure. I don't trust my eyes because I'm special. So what do we got here? I was too late, but it is the gun upgrade. Pro as balls. Anyway, moving on. We've got a little bit of a push right at the bottom with PsychOwnage. He's not going to overplay his hand, though. He's going to withdraw, and wisely so. For the moment, he has map control on both corners, so there's no point in throwing that away. He just needs to get an engineer or 2 down. He seems a little bit light on engineers in general. He's focusing very heavily on span. He's got a fair few wandering around his main base, but he needs to get them out to the surrounding sides. He's finally about to get the last mass point up at the top right, and now PsychOwnage, with that huge rate of fire and range bonus that he gets off that upgrade, is just going to go strolling towards Silver Eye's base, and he's just wailing away on point defense turrets and mass points. That could be all kinds of problems. But we have got T2 up for Silver Eye, so maybe why he's actually seemed like he's been dropping off the unit production slightly. He's needed those resources, and he is trying to sandwich the troops a little bit. He's coming over from the side right now. We've got the first couple of skyboxers rolling off. They're going to help shoot down these interceptors and deny any kind of scouting intel they may have been getting. Certainly not going for any air strategies, so there's little more than that. Might be concerned about some kind of air push from PsychOwnage, but he's going to withdraw into his base, and wisely so, because he is down to 7,500 hit points, and that is not good for your health when you've got this many units chasing you. PsychOwnage feeling very strong indeed because of that upgrade and the overwhelming amount of units that he's got. But we're starting to see some pillars coming off the ramp now for Silver Eye, and that could well turn things around. I'm just going to slow this down a little bit, and you can see the Thams just going pop as they come in once again in single file, which is always the problem when you come through these choke points. You're not getting a broad consensus of fire. Your units are coming in one at a time and firing singly, and you're running into groups of units that are tightly packed, and they can wail away on those units as they come in. You're not really making much advantage. I'd like to see PsychOwnage overcharge a little bit more when the units are clumped. He's relying very heavily on the upgrade of the gun. That's no problem with that, but it's obviously the overcharge is a huge bonus, and you can see he's going for some there, and he needs to, because he's suddenly completely surrounded. All of his reinforcements have completely disappeared, and he's completely alone. He has no reinforcements. That is turned on its head. I can't believe it. He is now retreating, but I don't think he's going to have enough to get away from it. He's not going to be able to put it. He needs to overcharge more if he's got the energy to do it. He's down to 1,000 hit points. He's not going to get out of this in an unbelievable turnaround. He must be screwing. That's a brutal way to lose it. It looked like he had everything in the bag, but a timely tech upgrade on Silver Eye's northern land factory keeps him in the game. And it just shows you've got to be careful with your ACU. That is the object of the game after all. It might be a high damage useful tool, but if you're reckless, that can get you killed. But I got to say, I didn't think he was in any danger there right up until the point where his last few Thams went popped and he was running away, and it suddenly became obvious when I scrolled out that there were no reinforcements en route whatsoever. So very well played to Silver Eye. Very unfortunate PsychOwnage. You played a nice game apart from that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a bit of a short one today, but I've had some other things going on. I may or may not be able to get anything else out over the weekend, but if I can, I will get it to you. In the meantime, stay safe, stay tuned, and I will see you next time. This is Gyle signing out.